Hello, hello, hello. I'm doing my 5-week vlog update since starting tea today, and I'm going to keep it pretty short and sweet. Not a lot of changes since last week's video, uh, which was a month on tea. I am doing them every week, so my months aren't exactly lining up with like calendar months, and some months are going to be 5 weeks and some months are going to be 4 weeks. It's just easier for me to do it every Thursday rather than like I'm actually doing it on the day, the number day of the month that I started tea. Anyway, I'm excited because I do feel like I'm noticing a little bit maybe of darker hair coming in on my thighs. Could just be wishful thinking. The hair there that was there before was very, very light and like so fine it was almost invisible. Whereas the hair that is on my calves and my shins is like pretty dark and like almost more so than my partner, and he's cis. So yeah, excited about where my lower legs have been since I stopped shaving. Like that was always really exciting, but my upper legs is where it's like, oh, like we go from kind of like very hairy to basically nothing. So I'm excited for the hair to come in eventually on my upper thighs, and like I said, maybe it's wishful thinking that it's happening already. I have no idea, but I do maybe feel like I started to notice a little bit. Other than that, there's really been no changes. One thing I'm just curious about is I'm continuing to drink so much water. I drink about a gallon a day, and I do that from my water jug. I don't drink it all as water. For example, if I was to drink like a sparkling seltzer water, I would like pour out the amount of water from my jug that the seltzer water equated to. But sometimes I don't even do that, and I still go through the gallon. I'm just like, where is all this water going? I do have to go to the bathroom, a fair amount. And I did go to the doctor, and I have gained like a few pounds for sure since I was there only a month ago. I'm thinking a lot of that is either muscle. It can't be too much muscle. Some of it is muscle, but it can't be that much muscle. And then also it has to be this water. And I'm just wondering, like, is my face going to puff out? Is my whole body going to kind of puff out? I feel pretty good. Like my body, I feel great about like where I am right now. And I haven't noticed any changes with that. It's hard to tell though from day to day when you're looking at yourself in the mirror compared to, looking at photos or, excuse me, things like that. I am still sick, by the way. So my voice, I don't know, it's got some tea drop, it's got some sickness drop. I feel like it's going to be April before I can say like, this is definitely a tea drop, tea voice drop, because it's just like this illness is lingering, and then we're going to get another one and another one. And anyway, yeah, so I'm just curious about that water retention. And I do feel like I've been under the impression that you do have increased water retention when you start testosterone, and then it takes like a year and a half to 2 years of being on it before that water retention kind of clears out. But I tried to do some superficial research on it, and I couldn't really find a whole lot. So I'll maybe dig in a little bit deeper. But anyway, it's just interesting. I cannot believe how much water I'm drinking, how easy it is to drink that water. My food intake has gotten a little bit like, I was really force feeding myself when I had the headaches in the first 2 to 3 weeks that I was on tea, and it's really tapered off. Like I feel like I can rely a lot better on my own internal hunger cues again. And at the same time, like I'm definitely snacking in the evening more than I was before, particularly right before bed. And one reason for that is that I get up in the morning on Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday and do a really early workout. And I do like to feel, I want to feel somewhat fueled for that. And I also don't want to get up an hour before it and have a big breakfast. So anyway, I'm kind of snacking in the evening of Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday evenings for sure, the night before I do that workout, to make sure I'm like kind of fueled. It's all very like, this is not official advice. I am not a health expert. I'm just someone who tends to be really good about listening to my body and the cues it's sending me, and was kind of thrown with those headaches and how much I feel like I'm drinking and feeling like my body wasn't really sending those signals. So I'm happy to be back to listening to my body's hunger signals and just kind of, meeting it what it needs versus feeling like I have to force feed myself more than I want to. I'm also getting into bars more. I was never really into bars. I love food. Like I love to eat, and bars to me are kind of like low on my list of desirable foods to eat. That being said, with the calorie intake, it's just not possible sometimes to eat the calories that I'm kind of aiming for. And this is not bulking either. Again, this is just like maintaining, but it's just not possible to like eat that in, the volume quantity of other foods. A bar is really easy, and I'm just experimenting with different bars because I tend to like to find something that I really like and then just go back to that over and over again. So I discovered the RX bars that are very basic, only a few ingredients, and they have a protein bar out now that's like a peanut butter and strawberry flavor, and I've been eating basically one of those every day. And then there's also just their traditional flavors, and I like there's a banana, or there's an honey oat nut. That one is newer. I think that one I've tried it and is good. And the other one I really like that I've just tried one of, but is salted. It's salted chocolate. I love dark chocolate with sea salt. Like, it's one of my favorite treats. So this bar is kind of that, but like in bar form. And so, more bulk, more calories, more nutrients, like win all around. I'm excited about those and continuing to keep those in as like part of my diet. So yeah, like I said, changes week to week are difficult to measure, but yeah, I'm excited about the hair that's maybe coming in on my legs, and my voice is just amusing. Like it just tends to be all over the place. I get up in the morning and I can like barely talk. And then by the time my husband leaves for work, and I've interacted with our kid for a while or gone to the gym or whatever, I feel like my voice has never even dropped, like from before tea. So it's just crazy. It's all over the place, and I know I can't take it. Certainly can't take it hour by hour, and even day to day is just silly. So yeah, what other stuff? Oh, the only other thing I guess I can say is my face is really oily, and thankfully the acne is still hasn't hit as hard as I think it's going to. But I do try to like wipe it off throughout the day occasionally, just with water. And I wash it. I don't have any sort of facial care routine. I just wash it in the shower with a little bit of like my body wash. And then I typically just use water. So I'm kind of just trying to rinse it off and wipe that oil off. We'll see if it is enough to keep the acne from getting really bad, but it for sure is oily. Like it's shiny, and then when I rub my fingers across my forehead in particular, I'm like, oh my god, I feel like you could like fry french fries with the amount of oil that is coming off on my fingers, which sounds disgusting. Obviously it's a huge exaggeration, but noticeable difference from pre-tea. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.